Hi, my name is Mae Caballes, and together with my groupmates, Miss Heinz Suzette Banaag and Mr. Christian Bautista, we are going to report the researches done on the early language development. So the first research that we're going to tackle is a research by David Dickinson, Julie Griffith, Roberta Michnek-Golinkoff, and Kathy Hirsch-Pasek, How Reading Books Fosters Language Development Around the World, a Child Development Research. Research on literacy development is increasingly making clear the centrality of oral language to long-term literacy development. The language competencies that literacy builds upon begin to emerge as soon as children begin acquiring language. Thus, the period between birth and age 3 also is important to later literacy. For roughly 40 years, researchers interested in early reading and language development have studied the effects of early home and preschool experiences. Language has received particular attention because of its centrality to overall human development and its particular importance to reading development. Reading comprehension is critical for long-term academic success and is dependent on language abilities that emerge early in life. When all goes well, these early language experiences fuel effective reading comprehension among school-age children and young adults, and the dependency of reading on oral language is at the core of the simple view of reading. Language is a self-sustaining system that gathers momentum during the preschool years, and as language competencies emerge, they exert profound effects on conceptual, social, and affective functioning and build linguistic competencies that make subsequent language learning easier. In the years between birth and age 5, early language competencies facilitate the development of conceptual, affective, and attentional capacities. Exposure to language plays an important role in children's emerging ability to interpret the meanings of words. Early language processing abilities are associated with the amount of language children hear, and by the second year of life, children's ability to rapidly understand words predicts their ability to comprehend language and learn new vocabulary. Young children benefit from interacting with adults who offer prompt, contingent, and appropriate reactions to their utterances. One study found that when children were 9 and 13 months old, maternal responsiveness was associated with how soon children reach different developmental milestones. Responsiveness of parents in terms of diversity of language also relates to later proficiency. Further, the degree of responsiveness is especially important for children at medical risk due to low birth weight. While language includes distinct components such as the lexicon, grammar, and phonological system that can be studied and measured separately, children experience and learn language as an interconnected package. Children learn vocabulary through grammar, and grammar through vocabulary. Therefore, it is not surprising that the amount and diversity of verbal stimulation children receive relates to growth of vocabulary and grammar. Vocabulary and grammar are not divorced, rather they feed one another.
Studies of book reading have found evidence that children begin to benefit when a regular reading begins as early 8 months, and that children benefit most from regular reading routines that include sensitive and responsive, and language rich interactional routines. In this research on child development that established beyond doubt the fact that the years between birth and age are critical for children's long-term language, cognitive, emotional, and interpersonal development. To an extent, the power of these years springs from the fact that the brain is maturing rapidly and is sensitive to environmental stimulation or lack thereof. Also, this is the time when linguistic, cognitive, affective, and regulatory systems are developing and becoming interdependent. At this critical juncture, book reading has special power to have enduring impact on parents' patterns of interpersonal interaction with the children in a way that um, in a way that has lasting consequences for them. As parents read with children, they have the opportunity for frequent, sensitivity tuned, language rich interactions that draw children into conversations about books, the world, language, and concepts. However, most parents do not spontaneously make the most of the opportunities that books present, and many lack access to high quality books. Multiple programs from several countries have demonstrated that these twin challenges can be met. Large scale distribution of high quality books and um, useful information is possible when coordinated through existing respected community agencies, especially if parents are responsive to and benefit from advice regarding how to be how to best engage their child. Yes. Further, when the distribution of book is accompanied by guidance in how to read those books, there is a enormous potential to enhance reading and self-regulatory competences. There is always evidence that simply providing books has value, especially in settings where very few books are otherwise available. But um, evidence is much stronger that the combination of books and guidance for reading has greater potential to result in and to more frequent and more effective reading and improvements in children's language and also in children's self-regulatory competences.